So welcome to Boonsboro. Let's talk about what Boonsboro has to offer its occupants and visitors. Boonsboro was founded in 1792 by two brothers, George and William Boone, who happened to be cousins of Daniel Boone. It's located at the foot of South Mountain between Hagerstown and Frederick. William Boone, co-founding father of the town, acquired a 140-acre tract of land in 1791, located in what he and his brother George thought would be prime location for a town because of the crossroads leading to Hagerstown, Frederickstown, and Sharpsburg. They laid out 44 half-acre lots split on either side of the wagon road, which is now referred to as Main Street, with the town square at the Sharpsburg crossroad. The sale of the first lot was November of 1792 for a whopping £5. Originally, the brothers named the town Boonsbury. The name was later changed to Margarettsville in honor of George Boone's wife, and then changed several times throughout the years until finally becoming Boonsboro. William died in 1798, and he and his wife Susanna are buried in the Old Salem graveyard, which is open to the public. You'll find Susanna's marker, which reads, Susanna Boone, Proprietress of Boonsboro. Now, Boonsboro had a slow start in the very beginning, but the town grew and prospered after the construction of the now known as National Road, a turnpike connecting Baltimore to the west. In 1831, the citizens of Boonsboro held the town's first election after incorporating the town. And in 1862, the Battle of South Mountain began. It was the first battle of the Civil War that was fought on northern soil. During the Civil War, the church and the public buildings were used as makeshift hospitals, and soldiers were transported to Boonsboro throughout the bloodiest battles at South Mountain and Antietam. In 1939, the citizens created the Shaffer Memorial Park, and today it hosts the public events such as the Boonsboro Days, the Great Boonsboro Rescue Company Carnival, and Founders Day celebrations. The last census shows that the population of Boonsboro is just under 3,700 people, and it is the 54th largest city in Maryland. There's a lot of different points of interest in the area, so let's list off a few of the things that you could go and visit while you're in Boonsboro. For museums, there is the Museum of History. It's a private museum owned and operated by a local historian, Doug Bast. It houses an extensive collection of the Civil War as well as local town history. Another worth mentioning is the Trolley Museum. It's the last remaining trolley station in Washington County. It was an operating station from 1902 to 1938. There's a lot of landmarks, so I wanted to point out a few that are in or around the Boonsboro area for you to go look at. The Bowman House and Historical Society is one of them. The Bowman House is a typical log home of the western Maryland area, and in 1868, John Bowman purchased the home and established the Boonsboro Pottery. The pottery closed in 1908 due to modern mass production materials, and the building is now the office of the local Historical Society. Another worth noting is the 13th North Carolina Company B Memorial. It was erected in memory of the North Carolina troops who fought and died at the Battle of South Mountain, Maryland. It's located just east of Boonsboro on Reno Monument Road on the General Garland Trail. There's 1,100 feet of very easy walking trails with historic signs along the way to the monument. There's quite a few parks in our area, so I wanted to point out a few that are within the vicinity of Boonsboro that you should go have a look at. The first is the Washington Monument State Park. The first monument dedicated in the memory of George Washington can be found on the summit of South Mountain. It's a 34-foot high rugged tower built in 1827 by the citizens of Boonsboro. The Appalachian Trail winds through the park and passes the base of the monument. Another park worth mentioning is the Greenbrier State Park. It's a multi-use park, and it includes part of the Appalachian Trail, A 42-acre man-made lake and beach for swimming, canoeing, hiking, picnicking, fishing, and hunting. There are picnic tables, grills, playgrounds, and 4 lakefront gazebos. There's also campsites with a bathhouse. Third on our list today is the Gathland State Park. It was once the mountain home of George Alfred Townsend, a Civil War journalist. It's a unique collection of buildings and structures that he designed and constructed, with a large stone monument dedicated to war correspondents. The Appalachian Trail also passes through the park and the monument base. Something to note if you like history, there are ongoing Civil War reenactments through the summer and an annual Living History Weekend, the first weekend after Labor Day, that portrays various aspects of the soldiers' lives, including artillery demonstrations. Other things to do around the Boonsboro area worth noting are the Crystal Grottoes Caverns. The Crystal Grottoes Caverns feature many pure white natural sculptures and other formations. You can have guided tours explain the history, the formations, and geological aspects of the caverns. Another worth mentioning is the River and Trail Outfitters. They offer guided whitewater rafting, tubing, kayaking, canoeing, climbing, cycling, and hiking trips in historic Harper's Ferry. We also have Elk Mountain Trails. They take you on horseback through the Blue Ridge Mountains or on the banks of the Potomac River. Another place worth mentioning is the Shepherdstown Pedal and Paddle. It's a full-service bicycle, canoe, and kayak shop in beautiful Shepherdstown, West Virginia. They rent bicycles for riding on the C&O Canal and the Antietam Battlefield, and they also rent canoes, kayaks, and floating tubes for a peaceful float on the Potomac River. Oh, and don't forget to visit the beautifully restored boutique bed and breakfast that's owned by New York Times bestseller Nora Roberts and her husband. They opened it in 2009. So as you drive downtown of Boonsboro, you can see 3 banks, 1 grocery store, and a lot of other different shops that you can stop at. So take some time, go visit Boonsboro, see if it's somewhere you would like to live. I'm Sandy Curtis with Berkshire Hathaway Bowen Realty in Hagerstown, Maryland, and I will see you on the next video. The Bowman House in Historical Society.